All right, it's tuna week. It's Seiko tuna week, where I only wear my tunas for the whole week. Who needs shark week when you have tuna week? Gotta wear the tunas. No, I'm kidding. It's not tuna week. No one does that, man. You're geeking out on your watches, McMahon. So here's what I want to talk about today. As watch hobbyists, we need to help each other out. And what I mean by that is we need to help each other make our watch hobby a source of pride and joy. And too often, what I see is our watch hobby becomes a source of shame and anxiety. And I want to give you 5 scenarios that take our beautiful watch hobby and take it from a source of pride and joy to a horrible addiction, a cesspool, a rabbit hole of addiction, of shame and anxiety. And so these are 5 conditions you want to avoid. Number 1, you've been binging on your watch buys and you just can't stop. And you say to yourself, all right, this is my last watch and then I'm going to take a break for such and such time. And if you do that, if you make a pact with yourself, you have to stick to it. Here's why. If you can't stick to it, then you can't trust yourself. You can't trust your own resolve. And if you can't trust yourself, you're a liability to your own existence. And so let's look at this rule number 1. Never let your watch hobby cause you to be a liability to your own existence. Write that down. Write that down. Never let your watch hobby addiction, maybe they're the one and the same, never let it make you be an untrustworthy person so that you're a liability to your own existence. That's number 1. Number 2, never buy a watch because you fear it's no longer going to be available, because it's a limited edition. Just to let you know, in a way, everything in this world is limited. Everything's going to run out. It's just a matter of degree. In most cases, limited edition is more of a marketing ploy. Never let a marketing ploy create anxiety is the fuel for your watch addiction. Write that down. Never let anxiety be the fuel for a watch purchase, which is part of your watch addiction. Write that down. You don't want to do that. Number 3, never buy a watch because so-and-so says you have to buy this watch. As soon as you seek the approval or the validation of an external source, you're in trouble. Now write this down. When you try to achieve a sense of whole self from the fragmented approval of others, you never achieve a full whole self. All you do is become more dependent on the approval and praise of others, thereby becoming weaker and weaker. And as a weaker and weaker person, you're more of a liability than an asset. Never let that happen. All right, number 4. Never buy a watch that causes you to neglect the watches that are already in your collection more than you're already neglecting them. So, I'm wearing a Seiko Tuna. I'd like to wear it more. I do wear it. I give it some good wrist time, but there is a monochromatic watch that I like. It's an automatic watch with a Swiss ETA. I've been looking at it. It's called the Raven Deep Tech. It's about $1,100. I'm not buying it. Not buying it because it would compete with this. This gets neglected enough. Never buy a watch that's going to make you neglect watches you're already neglecting. Write that down. That's not going to cause joy and pride in your watch collecting. All right, number 5. This just blows my mind when I think about it. This blows my mind. All right, number 5. You find yourself binging so much with your watch purchases. You're not just hiding your purchases from your wife, getting the package at your front door, secretly tiptoeing into the bedroom and looking at it under the covers. You're not just hiding it from your wife, you're hiding it from the YouTube watch community. Why? Why? They're addicts. You're an addict. You know why? Because your addiction's even worse than theirs. Think about that. Your addiction is so bad, it's even worse than the fellow addicts on the YouTube community. Think about that for a second. The YouTube watch addiction community is watching you, and they're comforting themselves. They're going, oh, I guess I'm not so bad because so-and-so's worse than I am. Never give comfort to other addicts by allowing them to say they're not as bad as you. That's a bad scenario. Write that down. So what happens is, I think if you find yourself buying watches under one or more of those 5 conditions, you got to put the pause button on. Because your hobby is no longer about joy and pride of your collection. It's about anxiety, and it's about shame, and it's about addiction and liability and helplessness. We got to help each other out here, man. Hey, look, man, we're all smart, we're all professional, we're talented. Sometimes our watch passion gets the best of us. We've got to help each other out. This is how I see it. So press the pause button of one or more of those 5 scenarios are taking place. Go find your happy place, man. It might be the garage where you do your kettlebell workout. It might be the kitchen where you're going to get some fresh avocados and make guacamole. I don't know. Hey, let me know what you think, man. Have you ever succumbed to one or more of those 5 scenarios? And have you learned to curb those scenarios by putting the pause button on? I'd like to know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm out.